what's up, everybody, and welcome back to an episode of the Letter to Life podcast. Today, you'll be hearing from our hosts.
I'm Gio.
I'm Jordan.
And today, they'll be talking about how to identify red flags in friendships, airing dirty laundry on social media, and their own personal experiences with fake friends. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get into it.
Jordan, what do you call a fake friend?
What does anybody call a fake friend? A snake?
Why do you call it that?
Because I guess snakes are like have this rep of just like being hidden. You never know when you walk up on a snake unless you do. You're gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I guess it's like the reclusiveness and almost like they can see you before you can see them. But I guess it's like a panther too. A panther.
So like hidden in like tall grass or something?
Yeah, you know. It like just hiding in the tall grass, you know, waiting just to show their true colors. Be a real snake, I guess.
No, I feel that.
What would you call a fake friend?
I'll call a fake friend, I wouldn't necessarily say a snake, because I feel like with a snake, if you relate it back to like personal experiences, when I think of a snake, I think of somebody who in general doesn't have your best interests at heart. Now that can play a role into fake friends overall, but I guess the way how I'm kind of thinking about it is more so things that, or like signs or like red flags that you can see in a friendship that you already have that kind of lets you know that, okay, well, this person isn't feeling this friendship anymore, or this person has an ulterior motive when it comes to this friendship. So yeah, that's my spill on that.
But you didn't give it an animal name though.
Who?
You didn't give it an animal name.
Oh, I didn't?
No.
Oh. What animal?
I guess I don't know. Maybe snake is not. Maybe an animal name is not justifiable for what a fake friend is.
I'll say a chameleon.
A chameleon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
they're harmless, but they're there.
Yeah.
But they're not there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you look hard enough, you can see it. But
yeah,
that example is probably very piss poor.
You know what? I'll redact my statement.
Okay.
I'm going with like a mountain lion.
Why a mountain lion?
Because I feel like a fake friend could like hurt you really bad. Mm-hmm. But that's just who they are. And a mountain lion is going to like, it's going to kill prey because that's all it knows what to do. But you never know where a mountain lion is like hiding at, you know? I mean,
like that.
Most times you won't ever see it. It'll always see you though.
I like that. I like that. So have you had any experiences in your life where, you know, you're very seasoned in a friendship and you've seen those red flags or signs that points to you thinking, well, this person's a fake friend or they're a snake in my eyes?
Yeah. I would say like as of recently, like, no, not at all. I feel like I've had to get to that point by going through a lot of fake friends, mm-hmm. you know, to really get to the ones that really care about you.
Right.
But I can think of like, you know, I went to private school and elementary school. And in middle school, I went to private school as well. But, you know, I changed schools and it was like a whole different dynamic, you know. Mm-hmm. At my elementary school, I felt like I was like, you know, I was that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really have to make friends. But then when I switched schools, that was like my first time like trying to make friends.
Right.
And so I was like just willingly put myself out there. Like whoever wanted to be my friends, you know, I was willing to be anybody's friend. But like I got around these group of guys that like, it was very toxic in a way.
Okay.
Like, you know, I would do all these things for them. Like, you know, I would save them a seat at lunch or, you know, on some real middle school,
right.
On some real middle school, you know, type beat. But, you know, like I would save them a seat at lunch or, mm-hmm. you know, I'd be like first in line. I'd be like, yeah, you can cut in front of me. Like, you know, stuff like that. And it'd be like, dang, like, you know, I thought that was going to get reciprocated and never did. And I was like, that was like first instance as a human ever feeling that like, dang, I could like do all these things, do all these deeds for people and them not care, you know? Because at the end of the day, those guys still like made fun of me and stuff. And I was like, I just didn't get it, you know? But that was a very childlike version of fake friends. I guess we can get into like the more mature version. After we hear, have you had any examples of fake friends?
Yes. But to relate back to what you just said real quick, I feel like now that I'm older, well, when I was younger, I subconsciously knew like I was being taken advantage of, but I'm a kid. Like I don't know like the deeper meaning and the principle behind things.
Yeah.
So now that I'm older, I could actually see that like these people like they really weren't my friends. Like they're some fake people. Like dang.
Yeah.
But for personal experience, now I'm not gonna put too much of my business out there, but I'm gonna say what I want to say.
We can go there now.
I mean, we can go there. I mean, I'm gonna say what I have to say because nobody's gonna tell me that I can't say it.
Get off your chest.
But there was this particular person. The way we became friends was on the precipice of a negative experience for her.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that she was dealing with. And I seen that like everybody was kind of, I guess downing her in a sense, or everybody just kind of turned their back on her. And I knew of her. I didn't know her personally, but like I knew of her like socially. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna like jump on the bandwagon and hate her because everybody else does. I'm gonna see how she is, like, because that used to be me, because I never wanted somebody to, I guess, turn away of being friends with me because everybody else don't like me or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So, and that's not to say like we became friends, like our friendship was built on the foundation of me feeling sorry for her. That was never the case.
Yeah.
That's one impression that we had, with each other. But of course, like a genuine friendship had developed, and it grew into like that was somebody who I can really call my sister. And to this day, I still feel like that is my sister in a way, even though we don't speak.
Yeah.
But fast forward, yada, yada, yada. 4 + 7, that's 20. Yeah. 7 years later, and we was kicking it, this, that, and the third. That was really my sister. She came to my first interview when I dropped my book.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. I'm the type of person, if we're speaking every single day, not every single day, but like if I hear from you 6 days out of 7 of the week, I expect before I get into that, when we would text each other, we would always say good morning, grand risings, whatever the case may be. And
you wanted a grand risings?
No, she was a grand risings person, and I always used to just say good morning, but she was like, good morning has a whole bunch of bad stuff behind it, yada yada. So I just said grand rising.
I like the grand risings though. I'm getting on that way.
Sorry. I noticed like as time went on, like the conversation got shorter.
Yeah.
And when you looked at our messages, it's more blue than gray. So
you spoke some volumes right there.
Yeah, like I just noticed like I was speaking more, and when we did have conversations, it was 90% about her and her life and whatever the case may be, and it was like 10% about me or 10% about us as friends. So I always felt like I was kind of like a shoulder to lean on, but like 24/7. And long story short, didn't hear nothing. And I'm the type of person, like I care very deeply about my friends. Like if I don't hear something from you, or if like I text you and you don't respond or anything like that, I'm automatically going to assume something's wrong. Because if we talk every single day, I'm going to assume that, you can text me back every single day.
Yeah.
I remember this is probably back in this is before I dropped my book. So this is in March of 2021. And, I didn't hear anything, nothing at all. Like she just really fell off the grid. So I had texted one of her close friends who I met like once, but it wasn't really like on a good terms. I texted one of them and I said, hey, have you heard from this person? I was trying to reach out, but I didn't hear anything. So I just wanted to make sure like if she's okay, because she is close. She goes to the same school as her.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I just talked to her 2 days ago, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. And my thing was, I'm supposed to be your quote unquote brother, but for me to get an answer out of you, it took me to go through somebody who you just met. I said, that's cool. So she ended up texting me and she was like, something along the lines of, I take breaks to myself all the time. I didn't need to say anything, this, that, and the third. So what I replied was...
But y'all been friends 7 years?
7 years. So what I said was, well, I would have appreciated it if you at least checked in with me and saying, hey, I'm going to take a mental thing off or whatever the case may be. This, day, and the third, instead of just having me worry, because you see me worrying and you're watching all my stuff too.
Yeah.
And it was just a principle of saying that I didn't have to say anything. When if the roles were reversed and I did it, it would have been World War VI.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thing on fake friends. Like she had, well, now that I know, she had a ulterior motive from the jump. She wasn't really there for me how I was there for her. And now that the friendship is over, I realize that now. I feel like I knew that subconsciously,
Yeah.
but I just didn't say anything because I'm like, well, I knew you for so long, you would never do this to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my little spiel.
You know, I mean, unpacking that whole thing.
Okay.
I guess like two words come to mind for me is that's like usability and reciprocation.
Okay.
And I feel like those are two big things when it comes to fake friends. But, you know, for me, it was always something that started in like the incubation process of a friendship.
Right.
It was never something that like, because, you know, if we're talking about tall grass, that's something that you stumble upon, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like something that's lurking in the background that's like, you know, slowly, you know, getting more inside of your own personal space. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So that's like interesting to hear because a lot of my quarrels with fake friends has come from like the first instance, you
Really?
know, within like the first few times of us being friends.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I haven't really had anything that's gone for years and years and years. So that's like really illuminating in a way. Like that can still happen.
Yes. Like, and after that, like I kind of evaluated all the other friendships I had in my life at that time. And I started thinking like, well, what's the ulterior motive that this person has?
Yeah.
Like I just started really second guessing all of my friendships that I
You can
had.
become a cynic, man.
Yes. Like till this day, like I'm still like that. Like
Yeah.
I think like, okay, well, something's going to happen where they're going to cross me or something like that. But I mean, it's sad, but it's the reality. And I'm glad we have this platform that I can speak on it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a platform before, but I didn't feel like it just wouldn't be fair for me to voice the truth and the facts without, you know, the other parties, not consent because I don't care, but the other parties like, no, I'm being serious. Like without the other party saying something too, but I don't care now.
But let's touch on that though. Like what is this thing where it comes to, you know, I don't know, I guess social media kind of breeds this thing where you can't be fake, you know? What is this thing where it's like, okay, I found that somebody was fake and then they air that dirty laundry out to everyone. Don't you feel that's just as bad as, you know, being the fake friend? You just, you know, I hate them. Oh, they were horrible. Like, you know, doing all that stuff on social media. I feel like that's not helping the situation at all. It's like, well, exacerbating it in a way.
I agree with you, but I disagree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you in the sense that like, it's like, well, I'm not any better than, well, somebody's not any better than a fake friend. But I disagree with you in the point that if I am a subject of a lie and I'm being tarnished, my character is being discriminated and everything, I have a right to speak and I'm going to voice the truth.
Yeah.
Because you tried to throw a whole bunch of allegations out about me that were not true at all.
Yeah.
So now I don't care if I was on this platform, if I was on the news or whatever the case may be, any platform that I get on, I'm going to voice my opinion because you're not going to bully me or you're not going to try to scare me into staying quiet or not saying anything or like speaking my truth. Anyway.
No, but I agree in that sense. I feel like the truth needs to be said, but it's just, sometimes it's the way the truth is said. Like, okay, obviously there's like a disrespect that comes from that, you know, of them, even like the accusing part, you know, but you know, you can get to this thing where it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm going to speak my truth, but I'm just going to go just as low as you hit me. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, well, that's, you know, what is that solving? You know, you are speaking your truth, but is that really helping you in the long run? Like, you know, hitting them as hard as they hit you?
But I haven't done that. That's the thing. When I could have.
But people do that. You haven't done that. But you see it all the time on social media, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, people, you know, they had a fake friend, something went wrong in their friendship, and then it's like everything comes out.
Well, this is my opinion. I'm just type of person in certain situations. I'm just type of person where if you go low, I'm gonna go to hell. That's certain situations, but there's other situations.
So you don't believe in the bigger man scenario?
No, it depends on the situation. Now, for example, like the friendship that I used to have. Now, if you wanted to go low, I'm going to go lower than you did.
Yeah.
But in certain situations, I feel like the important thing is like showing the person that you are the bigger person. Like you can say, like, there's a whole bunch of things that you can't say, but times where you have the opportunity to say, you only say a fraction of those things.
Yeah.
Or you just don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that, but I feel like it just depends on the situation where you might have to stoop low, like how the person is stooping low, and there's situations where you kind of have to be the bigger person, and turn the other cheek.
I'm just like, the reason why I asked you that is because like from experience that has backfired on me.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, obviously somebody was being fake as a friend and was going to tell everybody all my truths, and I didn't, that's not a friendly thing to do, to go tell people your secrets,
right.
So, I thought, it'd be the same thing. I'd put their secrets out there. But no, I was like the villain in that situation, and it was like a really horrible situation to be in. But ever since then, it was like I was never one to go lower in that sense when it comes to fake friends. I'll go lower and I can be petty. But when it comes to fake friends, I was like, after that situation, I was never one to, go lower. It's like, well, you show me your true colors. The real sad thing about it is you'll never have a friend as good as me. That's the sad thing.
I feel that so much.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel that because I know what I bring to the table, and I know I'm a good person. I know I got a good heart. So for somebody to, not even her, but for just somebody in general to do me like that or try to do me like that, it's like you really missed like the very good person in your life. Because I'm a very selfless person. Like I care not what people think, but I care like how they feel and my actions. I always think about like, if I do something, how would that affect this person, whatever the case may be. I always treat other people's heart like my own.
What would you say would be like good indicators right off the bat of a fake friend?
If you find that person constantly only talking to you whenever they need something, I feel like that's one. Another one would be if you feel like you're pouring or putting too much of yourself into the friendship, and you have that thought in the back of your head where you have to kind of pull yourself back a little bit because you feel like you're putting too much energy into it. I feel like for me, those are my two biggest ones that I can kind of tell off right off the bat. Yeah. What about you?
I said mine are like mine come from like those small things.
Okay.
It's like if you can't follow through on the small things, it kind of makes me think you won't be able to follow through on the bigger things.
Right.
It's just like basic reciprocation of a friendship. If I do this for you, and I'm not saying like, in all instances, especially in monetary situations where I expect you to do the same thing as me. I just have a big heart in that sense for my friends.
You're right.
But just from just like a friendship standpoint, like say, I'll come pick you up. I'll scoop you. I don't need no gas money. You're my friend. You know what I'm saying? That's me, but that's me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But then you're like, I get in my friend's car and they're like, okay, that'll be like, $20 or whatever. And it'd be like, I drive you everywhere. And then the one time, I'm in there with you, then you want to be like, okay, well, now you got to spot me some gas money. I'm like, okay, like I get it. I get it from a monetary value, but I never like asked that from you. And I just, as a friend, I would want that type of reciprocation. I know that's not, for everyone, but that's just a monetary value side, know. There's a lot of instances where it's just like I said, if I like tell you my secrets, right, and then you go and I hear about it from someone else, I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would keep your secrets, and I still would, even after the friendship is over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would say like I'm the same way, but if somebody tells me something in private, like something like it's like, well, serious, or like something that they told me in private for a reason, I would never go and repeat that. Even after the friendship is over. And I just want to make that clear from my friendship that I've used to have. All the things that we talked about is still on the wraps, and it's never gonna come out.
That's like the ultimate sin to me in terms of friendship.
You said what?
That's the ultimate sin in terms of friendship to me is if you go and tell my secrets.
Now, if you tell mine, Well, I wouldn't say I have secrets, but if you tell mine something that I told you in private and you're trying to broadcast it everywhere, I'm going to broadcast yours too. Now that's that's one of those situations where you have to, like, if you go low, I'm going to go to hell, because like, if
what do you gain from that?
Satisfaction. Me personally.
That truly satisfies you.
Me personally. Because I never liked the feeling of somebody having one up on me. I never liked that.
Yeah.
And if I know that like I have some ammo on you and you try to load off your gun on me.
That sounds like vengeance to me.
No, but it's like.
That sounds like revenge.
It's like an eye for eye. That's how I look at it.
Where has that gotten us in the million years we've been on this planet, though? I'm sorry, this is like the first time we had some discourse on this no. This whole show. But this is where's that gotten us as human beings, though? An eye for an eye.
It just depends on the situation. That's what it is for me. That's the God honest truth. It just depends on the situation. Like if
you wake up and choose violence. That's what that sounds like.
I don't, but if you choose violence, I wouldn't choose violence too.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean,
I follow a more pacifist way of life.
I can't do that.
But that's just with fake friends, though.
Yeah. I mean, but I think like back to your point, your example about like the monetary things, like that side of friendship. Me, like, this is my rule in my head. If we're going to the same destination, I'm not gonna ask you for gas money because I'm going there too.
Yeah.
And if you're like one of my good friends, I'm not gonna ask for gas money. However, if let's say you ask me to take you to Timbuktu or whatever the case is, I don't care how long we knew each other. Gas prices are rising. So gas prices are rising.
That's not even funny.
Like, and that's just like, I can take you to the airport. I can, whatever the case may be. But it's like, if it's like far yonder,
yeah,
you're giving me gas money.
Yeah.
Like that's just, I feel like I shouldn't even have to ask you for that. You should automatically think like, okay, well, I'm having this person go out of their way to bring me this far. Let me at least try to give him gas money. Just give him something. So
yeah. But I said that goes back to like a reciprocation type of thing, though. I just honestly, I just feel like that's where a lot of fakeness may stem from, and it might not even be fakeness. Some people are just truly oblivious to that fact.
Nah, for real.
You know, some people just don't even think of it until you bring it up, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." Like, you know, but there's some people that are really out there to really use you, and I know that because I was people. Because I
you were doing the using, or you were using somebody?
I was both. In high school, like, I don't know, man. I had a really messed up mentality when it came to friendship.
Right.
I didn't like sitting on top of a social hierarchy.
Right.
I was fine with using people in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Even if I didn't like them as friends, I was just to be seen with them, just to be talking with them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I feel like it was like a hollow value there. And it took me some time in high school to figure that out. Mm-hmm. But I was like, well, you know, if I had these friends, you know, it'd make me, you know, look differently in the eyes of others. And, you know, that's truly being a fake friend, because I could care less about being their friend. You know, I just care about the optics of the situation. But that's
sad.
But we can't see. Okay, it is. But, you know, a lot of us, we can't sit here and say well, I don't know about you, but to the audience, you know, I'm sure some of us have done that. Whether it was in high school or whatever the case may be, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like the pot calling the kettle black, you know?
I mean, there has been situations like in high school where, well, it's like in middle school, but like we're still friends now, but the precipice on how our friendship came about because they would go to the corner store and they would get like the 25-cent like airhead things. Mm-hmm. I always used to want them every single morning. I didn't want to buy them myself because I knew that she was gonna have some. So like I just really talked to her for the airheads.
Oh my God. You're so messed up.
But no, you know, we're very cool now. And yeah, we had like a whole friendship dynamic, but yeah.
Okay, well, you know, you talked about fake friends. Mm-hmm. What would be an ideal good friend? What characteristics do you see from a good friend?
Somebody who is loyal to the friendship. Mm-hmm. Somebody who is selfless in the friendship. And somebody who is honest. Those are my three: loyalty, selflessness, and honesty. Those are my 3.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'd say honesty is like that's like the biggest one for me.
And accountability. I'm sorry, that's my 4.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
And you took all the good ones. I say honesty is like a really big thing for me, and to be trustworthy, those kind of go hand in hand in that sense,
right?
But also like say reciprocation is a big one as well.
Okay.
To that, I'm really big on that. It's like if you can't reciprocate, it's like matching energy. You can't match my energy. It's hard to be friends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, I would say those are definitely like in my top in terms of friends.
Okay, so as it pertains to fake friends, I guess what are some of your? Because you asked me this question before. Mm-hmm. What are like your signs or like red flags that you see that you can kind of determine like, yeah, this is not a good person for me?
A big one for me is like acting like I'm not there when the time. And this is like a usability aspect. You'll be chatting it up with them like the whole time, and it's as soon as you end up in a different setting or with different people, then they're not talking to you whatsoever. And that's like a big thing, especially like because I hate mixing friends. But when I do, I make sure I talk to everyone, make everybody feel heard in the conversation. That's like always on my mental. But there's people out there that do not care. You know what I'm saying?
I think, well, for me, it kind of dates back to, this is really like youth time. I was raised that if I go into a room and I may not know the person, or let's say I don't particularly like the person, I'm still going to greet everybody in the room like that out of just like a respect thing. Now, there are some people now that I know who are like very selective on when they're friends with people. They can be like, you can be my friend in class when you're trying to get some answers. Yeah. You can be my friend when you're just swiping the cap and everything. But when it's like, let's say at a kickback or like a social setting, you act like I'm not there.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
Some people, I don't know. I never understood, but some people like having school friends and then having like gym friends and be like, you're my friend here, but not there.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like that's kind of disrespectful.
I expect for you to uphold and value my friendship in every setting and in every aspect, as I do for you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you, like how we're talking right now, we're having a good dialogue. I can have the same dialogue and treat you the exact same if we're on stage in front of 10,000 people. Exactly. If we're in the caf and talking with other CSU students, or at my mom's house or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see how people can be very selective with when they're friends with people. I just can't see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of notice it with some friendships that I have now, but yeah.
Yeah, I would say like, to like sum all of that up, for me, it's just like, you can't choose when you want to be friends with someone. You're either wholly in it or you're not. That's just the hallmark of a good friend. If you're not,
I feel that.
There's no black and, there's no gray area. It's black and white in that sense.
Right.
So I guess if I were to leave the audience with something, it'd be that.
If I was to leave the audience with something about fake friends, I would say, first, it starts with you. Know your energy and know what you bring to the table. And if you're in a situation where you feel yourself, I guess, retracting yourself emotionally or mentally or even physically because you feel like you're pouring too much into that friendship, let it go. Because I don't like watering a dead rose. I don't like polishing a cracked floor. Nothing like that. So once I get those signs, I know from early on, yeah, this person's not right for me. And also, be familiar with the other person's energy as well. Because if you notice that like there are situations where you feel like that person is only contacting you because they need something and not really genuinely checking up on you or like really having your best interest at heart, you don't need that. So yeah, that's my little tidbit that I'm gonna leave with y'all.
Wise words from wise man.
Oh my God.
Life is produced with the cooperation of the student staff of WCUG Cougar Radio and the CSU Department of Communication. Thanks to Department Chair Dr. Dana Gibson and WCUG Faculty Advisor Dr. Bruce Getz for the help in airing the show. Charisma Newman produced and edited this episode. Operations Director of WCUG Cougar Radio is Sho Irakawa. Our Programming Manager is Lewis Myers. Marketing Manager is Logan Swaim. And our Production Manager is Austin Slacombe. You can listen to our show and more online by searching for our call letters, WCUG.
I'm Gio.
I'm Jordan, and you've been listening to the Letter to Life podcast.